G'day folks, this is Sim. Welcome back to Minecraft Down Under, and we're playing JadedCat's Magic Farm 3, and a little bit of time has passed and I'm a little bit less stressed. However, we still have some problems to deal with. So, what have I been up to? Well, first thing I did was I did go and do some serious exploring. And if you have a look at the map here, this is where we're based. Fairly large sea over here. We've got some plains. We've got a very, very, very large jungle. And then up here north of the desert that we've already explored, we've got some savannas, some more plains, some more deserts, some more savannas, and then heading back over here we've got more forested terrain as well. And I must admit there are a few nice spots, but there's nothing that really stood out. So what I decided that I was going to do was I was going to stay right here. I was basically going to push this whole section back as a second tier for various machines and other bits and pieces. Flatten that out completely. Possibly put some stuff underneath. Not really sure, but I had all these wonderful plans. And the other thing that I did was I fixed my little annoyance with the metals. So I got the blaze rods that I needed, and that allowed me to make the pyrotheum. And the pyrotheum does definitely do the job that's needed to make some of the higher tier metals. So I was able to make myself some Illuminati. And the first thing I did was I made myself an Illuminati crossbow. So the limbs Illuminati, fiery bowstring, manual binding, and a monosteel body. And that makes a pretty decent crossbow. And when I say pretty decent, I mean seriously decent. The next thing that I did was I made up some bolts, and I wanted to do some experimenting with the new materials. So I made up 3 different sets. The first set was monosteel bolts that were made with a slimy rod. So let me just bring that back up again. So they are quite a lightweight bolt, and you don't get a massive number of them, but the damage is pretty substantial. On top of that, I then tried some monosteel bolts that were made with pure monosteel, and I'm using slime leaf fletching for all of these, and they gave similar damage. And to be honest, the heavier bolts are supposed to have greater armor penetration, but they do tend to drop faster. But when I've experimented with the different bolts, they both seem to drop at about the same rate. The other thing that I made was these ones here. Now these bolts are made with manulin and monosteel. So they're manulin tipped, but it's a monosteel bolt. Now they only do 9 damage, multiplied by the attack multiplier of the crossbow. However, they take a lot less effort to level up. So if we have a look at these, they take 10,000 XP to level. We have a look at these, they're about 9,000 XP to level. These ones, I'm already expert level with them, and they only need 4,000 XP. So what I intended to do was level these up quite a bit, because you can see that the modifiers I've got already, I've got quartz, I've got beheading, and I've got 2 levels of auto repair, are pretty decent. And then once they've gotten to the level that I'm happy with, then I will probably upgrade the bolt itself, either with monosteel or Illuminati, if it will let me, to get the additional damage boost. So these things do make a huge difference, and If it gets to night time, I'll show you exactly how devastating they are. But if we have a quick look back at the crossbow again, you'll see that I've got an arrow speed of 14.4 and a draw speed of 0.15 with a total attack using these bolts of 129 hearts. It's a beast and it fires like a machine gun. So I'm very, very happy. Hello Creeper, what are you doing down there? Well, you were down there. It'll one-shot all of the standard mobs and a lot of the other mobs. It just makes me so happy it's not funny. I also upgraded my cleaver and gave that an Illuminati blade, so it does 25 attack damage, 12.5 hearts, and I will probably see what I can do about upgrading my scythe as well. But right now the crossbow is just beast mode, and that made me very, very, very happy. So my intention was stay here, level this terrain out, and start working on expanding my base, some technology, well, lots and lots of technology to be honest, and probably some quarries and a few other bits and pieces, and a whole lot of fun and games. Then Jaded updated the pack, and the updates have not been promising. I mean, don't get me wrong, the updates are good, but there's been some issues, and a couple of the issues will hopefully get fixed. One is the introduction of some mods has caused some oddities with spawning of certain mobs in plains, but the other thing that she's done is she's added some mobs which interact in some very interesting ways with the other mods that are already here. One of those mobs is the ogre, and the problem with the ogre is it seems like they can track you if they're within range, and they will pretty much trash anything and everything in their way, and that, in my opinion, is a game breaker. That is just totally ridiculous. There are also ghosts which require the right weaponry to kill. I believe it requires an enchanted weapon of some sorts, and they're also pretty dangerous. But on top of that, there's another mod called Apocalypse, and how that works is the longer you're in the game, the tougher the mobs are. So you end up with more and more ridiculously overpowered mobs, and from what I can gather, it just ramps up way too far and way too fast. It's broken balance completely, and that's something that matters to me. It's the reason why I like playing packs like Blood and Bones, because they're hellishly hard, but they're balanced. You know what you're in for, you know what you have to prepare against, and you don't have stuff that just randomly insta kills you for the troll value. So hopefully those issues will get fixed, and if they're not fixed, if they do stay, then I will probably change the config, because if I'm going to play, I want to enjoy myself, and random death for no good reason, well, it annoys me. I think you guys have probably figured that out by now, but there is a bigger issue, and that's what it comes down to. G'day mate, goodbye. The issue is that there's been another addition, and that's the addition of the Highlands mod. And Highlands changes terrain gen, and I love varied terrain gen, whether it's biomes of plenty, Highlands, extra biomes XL, the Twilight Forest, all of those sorts of things. The more biomes that I can explore, the better. The problem is that I have now just explored a very large area around here and generated those biomes, and on top of that, although it's not going to affect the ore gen, I don't believe, we're going to have a situation where whenever we move into unexplored terrain, we're going to have some very, very unusual border effects. So this is my plan. I will be continuing with Magic Farm, but I need to wait until the issues are sorted out, and then I am going to be starting a fresh series. Now that means we're going to be repeating some stuff, but I will be cutting through a lot of the stuff that I've already done fairly quickly, and you also won't have to sit through me groaning through Britannia quite so badly, because I have done quite a bit of research since I started with Britannia, and I can now set up a few setups fairly quickly using either the endo flames or the hydranges or hydranges, or however they're pronounced, to generate mana at a pretty good rate. So that will definitely work a lot better. I'll probably do a lot of work off camera to get my farms back up, but we are most definitely going to be having a look at alternative food sources, and one of the things that we might be doing, an Enderman, don't hear those very often. One of the things that we might be doing, if I can just find them, they should be around here somewhere, is cookies. Cookies, one of the worst foods in Minecraft, but when you dunk them in a mana pool, you get mana cookies. And from what I have heard, not only do mana cookies, let's have a look, see if it tells us. Doesn't say anything. If you dunk them in mana, you get mana cookies, and if you eat a mana cookie, you get full hearts and full saturation. And I'm not sure how many of these I have to actually eat, but I should be able to recycle quite a few foods and use these. We're going to have to wait and see how it all pans out. So there's going to be a few options. Anyway, there will probably be a bit more of a gap while I wait for an update to the pack. But don't worry, the channel's not going to be going quiet. I have had quite a bit of stuff going on at the moment with work and other things, so I haven't been uploading anywhere near as much as I would have liked to. But Magic Farm is definitely coming back, and it will be coming back in the short term, hopefully. On top of that, I am going to be uploading very shortly a new series, and that is going to be using the Atonement mod pack from Iskandar, which is the guy that brought us Crash Landing, and that is a very, very interesting, oh you rotten beggar, mod pack. It's challenging, and it's quite different to most of the other stuff that we've played with. G'day mate, what are you doing? And oh, don't lose your head mate. Anyway, and I'm probably going to do a short series on Departed, which is the mod pack that I've been tested for FTB, because that's going to be released very, very shortly, and I want to do an introductory survival type setup for that, and maybe then do some random exploration, because Departed is definitely an exploration based mod pack. 7 days to die. Again, 7 days. I've been playing for a very long time now, and it seems to be a case of you get a good update and then you can get a few dodgy ones. And the most recent updates I have struggled with. There's been a lot of good content added, but there have been a lot of issues. I will definitely be getting back to it. Maybe in Alpha 11. I may wait for Alpha 12 to see if they've ironed out a few of their bugs. We'll have to wait and see. And there may be a few other odds bods here and there. But this is where we stand, and I'm probably a little bit less grumpy than I was the last time, and we will definitely be having a lot of fun, and I'm sure JadedCat will be doing the very best that she can to spoil that fun. And I might have mentioned it before, but I'll say it again just to be absolutely clear. I might get the shits occasionally, and I may bitch and I may moan and I may complain, but most of the time I'm bitching and moaning and complaining simply for the sake of it, and I really do enjoy mod packs like this. There are some things that I struggle with, but yeah, if there was no struggle, it'd be pretty boring now, wouldn't it? Oh, love that crossbow. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you like this little update. I certainly do look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, take care of each other, everybody, and ciao for now.